we are live. What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another edition of Respect the Craft. This is episode number 96, and I'm joined by none other than the boss man himself, the owner, the CEO of TCW. We're here with Mr. Billy. How's it going, sir? Good evening.
Man, it's going great, man. It's such an honor. This is the first time I've ever been on Respect the Craft, man. This has been real cool.
This has definitely been one that I've been wanting to make happen for a while. Timing, unfortunately, it gets away from us. You're a busy man. Again, the boss has a hard job to do.
Listen, I'm an honor to be at number 96. I mean, that's before the 100, right?
Definitely. That 100, though, I think you know the guess, but we'll keep that under wrap and key for just a little bit. So,
Okay, you got it.
but again, we're here because we're going to be discussing all things leading up to this Saturday's Mount Olympus, a huge event that's already been selling out. Guys, if you haven't already, get your tickets. Link in the description down below. It is going to be an event like none other. I can't wait because not only is that Rumble stacked, is the Mount Olympus Rumble stacked, but the card itself is another huge one that I can't wait to talk about.
Oh, yeah, man. I'm looking forward to it. I mean, right now, as you can see, I'm in the mobile office, the Titan mobile office. And I'll definitely be in town come Friday night. But I'm like super excited for Saturday, Mount Olympus, man. You know, in particular the lightweight championship match. You know, I'm really looking forward to that. The Rumble, see if Anthony can go to keep that title. And there's so many cool things I'm looking forward to. So
Definitely.
it's definitely a show you do not want to miss because what I understand, the twists and turns on this one, man, is huge.
Oof, I can't wait. But definitely, we're going to be talking about all of that and so much more. But before we get into all the questions I have for you, Billy, I have to ask you the question that I ask everyone that comes on. You heard the name of the show. It's called Respect the Craft. So for you, that term, the craft, what does that mean?
The term, the craft. It's what they everybody does, man. It's what everybody does in that ring. You know, pure professional wrestling. I mean, that is the craft, right? So, um, you know, without that, man, there wouldn't be all the wonderful, wonderful shows. So, I mean, that craft is that pro wrestling, man, all day.
There you go. So now I have to ask you, Billy. Let's get this as well. What brought you back in? Because again, you took your little bit of the hiatus. You took your break. Again, you're a busy man, like you said. Right now, you're currently on the road. So what is it that made you want to come back into this wacky world that we love of professional wrestling?
You know, I wouldn't say boredom, but I needed a break. I needed to refocus. You know, I had some priorities I had to take care of at home. Obviously, we did the big move from New Jersey down to North Carolina. So, I mean, that took a lot of the time. You know, we establishing ourselves down there and, you know, getting the kids in school, getting the house ready. I mean, it was just a lot. There was a lot on the plate. You know, when you're moving a whole entire family down there, it's not just you're moving from one neighborhood to another. You know, you're moving 10 hours away. Um, so it was at that point when I came back to for one show, and then I realized, well, you know, I'm ready, mentally, physically, I'm ready. So ultimately, I pulled the trigger to come back. You know.
Gotcha. Hey, and it's been quite a comeback because not only instantly you're manning the whole agenda right now. One of the
I'm
night
not
one.
alone.
It's been
I'm definitely not alone. You know, I've got great people that's doing it with me. I mean, Charlie, right? Charles Delutri. I mean, listen, while I was gone, man, he held it down. He did everything he needed to do, and you know, continues to bust his ass side by side with me, even with me living in North Carolina. You know, Anthony Guerreri. You know, regardless, even for that short time where he stepped away, he came back. Steve Mack. You know, behind the scenes, James Dunkowski, Waylon Cage, a lot of helpful hand, Magic, Andrew Morgan, Pat Savino, Benjamin King, Jeanette Erickson. Um, so I mean, the list goes on and on. That has really been strong. Has been a the backbone, the spine. You know, Um, Jim Falzarano with keeping Titan Kids on lockdown, you know. So they held over Titan Kids perfectly. Uh, like I said, it just wasn't me. It's just not me. I got an entire team that does this, you know, and it means the world to me.
Oh, definitely. That's awesome to hear. And again, that's a to me, I feel like that also helps to want to make you come back and stay as you see that now there's a whole team that truly is that backbone has been helping you make
Yeah,
these Titan Championship Wrestling events and all the events as well. As you now mentioned, you have Titan Kids is a thing. You have the sister company now with Goddesses of War with Kevin Nasta and all that becoming
Kevin,
more of a thing with
that,
2023. That's going to be something again, guys, you're going to want to look out for. And then there's so much more that you guys are planning that it definitely has been a great thing to see.
yeah. I mean, Kevin Nasta completely took over the Goddesses brand, right? So when you're focusing on Titan and you've got so many events upcoming, um, you know, that you're writing and you're booking and all that, it's very hard to run multiple brands. Um, and Kevin just snatched Goddesses and was like, "Listen, I'm bringing it back, and it's got to be done, you know, my way and all that." And I'm like, "Listen, brother, I'm supportive of it. He's been doing a hell of a job. I mean, you can see the lineup of women professional wrestlers that are going to be on that Damage 365 tournament. So I mean, that's like super, super, you know, and he's going to take that. I mean, he's just going to run wild with it. I mean, I have no influence on the actual Goddess's show. For example, February 25th, like I have no influence on it at all. That's just sheer his booking, his writing. Um, when it comes down to the Titan shows, he's given me what he needs as far as goddesses, and then any other goddesses that go on for the Titan show, uh, that's on me. Outside of that, you know, Kevin's got that all on lockdown.
Gotcha. No, definitely. And it's been a great thing to see. And see all the companies that you guys are working together with now, part of that family. You have Goddesses, you have Funhouse Wrestling, and you're seeing that influence, especially even with Saturday, that you're going to see a few of those type of, I guess, friendly assistants here. So let's get into that. Let's start talking about Saturday. Let's talk about this matchup right here that will be before the show as well. It's the pre-show matchup here as we have a true nature with Mount Olympus. It's a Titan battle here as you have Wrecking Ball Legursky from the NWA taking on Ken Powers. And what a way to kick off the show because you're trying to already break the building before the show begins in the pre-show.
Well, the Wrecking Ball's always been a fighter, man. He's a big man. You know, that Rumble's just not enough. He's very confident in the fact that he's going to win the Titan Championship, the Heavyweight Championship, right? So he just wanted more, and he's been on me. I want a match. I want a match. I said, brother, how you gonna do a match at the Rumble? You know, you've got potentially 19 other guys to go through. He laughs it off. So I was like, no problem, Wrecking Ball. You want a match? You're gonna get a match. And with the debut of Ken Powers, which we're excited, you know, that man can go, right? So he's got to go one on one with Wrecking Ball, even though it's a pre-show match. But believe me, that's going to show you what that main event's going to be like in that run. So
Can't wait to see that. And definitely, again, it's we're calling it a pre-show match, but I feel like it's truly a preview of what to expect in that Rumble because you're gonna have two of the biggest guys in it. Because I'm starting to do a little bit of research on Ken Powers, and this guy is no slouch either. Wrecking Ball is a huge dude, but Ken Powers is making him look a little less wrecking, if you will.
I'm
So
telling you, right? So like I'm like, you know, even myself, I'm intrigued to find out. I mean, who's going to go over on this? I mean, it's a you know, even though, like I said, Wrecking Ball is a big boy, but you know, Ken Powers is too. You know, you see the strength on and the agility on Ken Powers is like astonishing. So, and I've watched several videos, you know, after my biggest mistake back then. But, I mean, Wrecking Ball's got some competition. I really hope that Wrecking Ball is in good enough shape for that.
there you go. And here we go. We got Theo Mack in the chat now saying we need to see MCW, aka Mac Championship Wrestling, that or have Steve Mack produce Titan Championship Wrestling for a show or two. Well then, hey, we saw how a show tributed to Mac went. Maybe that's something we do need in the future. Maybe we need some Mac shows to happen eventually.
And we have a lot of love for each other, right? If I can shoot personally, there's a lot of love I got for Steve and vice versa. I mean, behind the scenes, I mean, we do butt heads, and absolutely, I mean, but however, when I can tell you, and I honestly can tell you, that I have 100% confidence in Steve producing the show too. I wouldn't even bat an eye, and I definitely would love to actually sit down and talk to him and see if we can make that a reality. He's been around a long time, and I just shared today, the inaugural, a great, excellent, incredible moment, the inaugural heavyweight champion, and he's the backbone of Titan Championship Wrestling through and through. So that's something I would definitely, absolutely love to talk
I can't wait to see that, especially with the insane schedule that looks to come in 2023. Who knows? Maybe we'll see one of those events be produced by Theo here. So we'll have to wait and see. But
about. And
now,
you never know, right?
hey, you never know. But especially with that being said, I'm gonna steal a phrase from more Theos of Mind in Wrestling, the SAT. I'm gonna steal the expect the unexpected because when this announcement happened, it kind of left everyone shocked. Let's talk about this. How how did this occur? How is this graphic a thing that will be happening on Saturday? It shocked the wrestling world because everyone it's no secret the issues that have occurred, the things that have happened, the discussions that have happened. So how is this
Discussion.
now a thing that will be happening Saturday with Rob Fury being invited to Mount Olympus?
I think it's more than discussion. I mean, for those that know the history, that were involved in the history, for those that were around when I was co-owner of SWF, what started out as a friendship became a business relationship, and sometimes you just don't mix business with friendship. However, we did. In a lot of ways, I thought everything was really good. Ultimately, the split happened, and like I've said a few times already, I don't think Rob wants me to go into the reasons of why the splits happened. I mean, hey, listen, that's just a shovel. We're going to be digging up bones, right? I've got enough to say to him anyway. However, if he shows, after a very long war, right? So, it's been 3 years. I haven't seen him in person in 3 years. I haven't said anything to him. We haven't said anything to each other publicly in 3 years. It's just time to move on, right? So constantly the shots back and forth, whether it's on a post or not. I mean, you go back to just recently when he did his Mega Slam, right? We had that Babel show that we did the fundraiser on, and he cut that live saying that he would pay the guy more money to not show up at Titan show. He would pay the fans the reduced tickets not to show up at a Titan show, and stemming into the fact that then all of a sudden he wanted to put me in a Hall of Fame with me and Charlie and James, and like, come on, man, you really think we were going to show up for that? And then after that, his blood is in tight because if it wasn't for him, totally granted, if it wasn't for him, the split that happened, granted, there wouldn't be a Titan. So if you want to run with that narrative, and if that's really what you want to put out there, sure. Then it's no problem. Give you the invite to Titan Championship Wrestling at Mount Olympus. And then, believe me, it just didn't wait for Mount Olympus. It just so happened to be Mount Olympus, right? But I extended the invite. So for the first time in 3 years, even again, I don't know what's going to be said. I don't know what he's going to say, and I don't really know how I'm going to react. However, so finally, either I'm going to put this to bed. Enough is enough. We move along. He handles his stuff. He's got to do. I handle what I got to do. What I got to do. So that's it. I mean, it was just a decision I had to make. It's a business decision to kind of, again, in some people's eyes, not a favorable one, right? And I get it. You can't make everybody happy. And I get it. Believe me, it wasn't a personal thing to hurt anybody's feelings or not. It's more of a business thing. However, for me to finally close that chapter, right? So I could always go to the library and pull that book out and read that chapter again. But once I want to close the book, I want to put it away, and that's it. And that's kind of what I'm looking to do, is just to move on from it, and that's it.
Well, then I have to be real with you. Then, do you think he's going to show up Saturday? Is
I
this
have no
more of
doubt.
just the extending the olive branch and that's it? Your
To be
hands are
honest with
clean.
you, I legitimately have my doubts. No, if you really want to get my honest opinion, if he's going to show up, I'm going to tell you no. I don't think he's going to. I think, and there's been a lot of situations where he has been. Listen, I was around him 4 years. In situations where there was, regardless of any type of confrontation. I mean, what's the history? He doesn't show. So, not to say that there's going to be confrontation with me or not. I surely hope that there's professionalism maintained, right? I mean, that's it's at a Titan house, it's in a Titan ring, in front of a Titan nation. So there's got to be a level of professionalism, right? Again, trying to keep the feelings out of it, my own personal feelings. And again, I'm making the sacrifice. I'm putting my personal life out there. So, but do I think he's going to show up? No, I don't. I think there's going to be many of reasons. It could be narrow it down, but I don't think he's going to show up.
Gotcha. Hey, again, had to ask just to again put it all out there. Well, let's get
I
into
mean,
more positive things now.
look at it from his. You gotta look at it from somebody else's shoe, right?
Yeah.
So you're walking into a company that for 3 years you put down. You put down me, you put down Charlie, you put down several other people, and the like you think you're walking into a work reaction. No, you're walking into a real reaction. Like, it's not shoe, it's not work, or whatever wrestling terminology people like to use. You're walking into a raw reaction. Some people gonna have some feelings, some people are not. So you're walking in a tight ring. You're gonna feel comfortable, you're gonna feel at home. So that's something, obviously he's gotta consider. But hey, if he walks in, great. I've got that moment to say what I need to say. I'm sure he's got a lot to say too. There was a lot of shots at each other. I mean, real life shit that went on. And, but if he doesn't, I I extended the invite, right? So I guess I was the bigger man. I extended the invite. You know what? I could move along knowing, hey, I tried.
Again, that's all that matters there. You did try. Again, we'll see what happens this Saturday, but that's not the main thing we're looking into Saturday. We're looking into
Yeah.
the amazing action. So let's go into this. We also have a great comment here from one of the great fans of the Titan Nation here. We have Wes and Kyle in the chat saying hello. Always good to see them and them showing support. So thank you again, guys, for watching. Well, let's go into another match. Let's talk about now the Funhouse Women's Championship will be on the line as you have a true veteran of the game as well, Angel Orsini, defending your championship here against Vivacious Vicious Vicky, who Vicky's been she's been sending some messages. She's not too content with how she feels the wrestling world has been reacting or giving her what she truly deserves. So Saturday, I feel like she's looking to send another message at Mount Olympus. Your thoughts on that, Billa?
As always, I need to just start off with saying, independent wrestling, right? Card subject to change, right? So that match did change. Vicky has a family thing to handle that weekend. So she needs to handle that. And, she ultimately was very apologetic that she's not able to make it. However, we're excited to see Vicky going into 2023. Again, it's still all gas, no brakes. But that match has changed. We took that Amanda Fuentes, who's a former Goddesses champion, and Becca Wiley, who's an up-and-coming star, and Angel Orsini in a three-way match for the
okay.
Funhouse Women's Champion.
So there you go. Now that was a matchup I was going to bring up in a little bit, but there you go. So that match has now become a three-way for the Funhouse Women's Championship.
Absolutely, 100%.
There you go. That's going to be
three-way. So now, so you got Angel Orsini, the original ECW, right, women's wrestler. And you got Amanda Fuentes, who's really no joke to begin with, right? And we all see the damage that she did in the past. Now with Becca Wiley, I don't know. It's originally or Angel didn't want to do the match, but influential. I had the influential. And she's doing it, so it'll be exciting to see.
No, definitely so. And again, right there, you have almost that true generational battle because now you have, not to in any disrespect say it, but the past, you have that great legacy that Angel Orsini has created. You have currently the present, a former Goddesses champion in Amanda Fuentes, and then you have the future there in Becca Wiley. We've seen what she's been able to do in that ring. She stepped in with great Goddesses already and part of the females in Titan Championship Wrestling. So I can't wait to see how this three-way goes. You have that little bit of a feud in there with Amanda Fuentes and Becca, as Amanda feels like Becca she cost her the Goddesses Championship. So you have that in there to see what will be happening when another championship now is a part of that scenario. So I can't wait to see what happens this Saturday. So definitely tune in, guys. You're going to want to be there. Again, get your tickets. Link in the description down below. Again, they're going fast. There's a reason for it. It's a huge event. You're going to want to be a part of it as TCW bringing always the best. Let's go from one championship match to another now, as it will be the TCW Hardcore Championship. Blaze Haram finally was able to secure that championship after months of just causing chaos in TCW. And now he's looking to defend it on Saturday as he's going head-to-head with Tarzan Durant. Your thoughts on this one, Billy, and just what Blaze Haram has been doing. Now he's also aligned himself with Rick Recon, so that's a whole another scenario as well in TCW.
I was there when Rick Recon, grabbed that microphone standing aside, when he revealed himself standing aside with Blaze Haram and said, a friend of mine, an enemy of my enemy is my friend. And that hit a little bit different, especially coming from him. Because Rick has always been put on a high platform. And, we decided to go a different route. So, he wasn't booked for 2 shows and just wasn't, it just wasn't good enough. However, I always respect Rick's ability and what he's done in that ring. He wanted the shot in the Rumble. He got it. Now, Blaze Haram, again, he's very, very, he thinks, right? He's very maniacal when it comes to that. What hasn't he done? The innovator of the Iraqi prison match. He has been hardcore through and through. And, he's got that championship, and believe me, he's going to do everything he can to keep that championship. And I'm, as much as I know he's going to go all out. And, you got Tarzan Durant. And that's no one to laugh at either. You go to his profile, you go to his Facebook, you see all the pictures, and he's been around, right? You see how that man wrestles. He's just as mean, as aggressive as he plays. So it is going to be an incredible hardcore match. And, you definitely want to be there to see the end of that one.
Definitely can't wait to see it. And also, I can only imagine, again, I know he's not going to be a part of that matchup. He'll be there for the Rumble, but I know Blaze Haram has to have an eye behind his back because he's holding that hardcore championship, and you have a true deathmatch icon coming this Saturday. So I can only imagine Blaze Haram needs to watch out for a certain bulldozer, if you will, because you never know what can happen.
You never know, right?
Never know what can happen.
Yep, exactly. You never know.
But here we go. Let's go from that matchup. Let's go to another. As you mentioned it earlier, you're looking forward to this one, as am I, as the TCW lightweight championship will be crowned, and it's here. We have Daniel Alexander taking on Rocket, both great young upstart talent, both looking to make their names. And what a way to do it at Mount Olympus to become TCW lightweight champion. Your thoughts on now what this lightweight championship means for TCW and having these two young upstarts going at it for it this Saturday?
Well, while I was on my break, man, this is 100% Charlie's creation. Man. And Charlie says, "Hey, listen, we got the heavyweight title, we got the middleweight title, which is kind of like the Intercontinental, right?" He's like, "I want something for the lightweight guys. I want something. I want to bring another title into Titan Championship Wrestling." I said, "You know what, Charlie? I'm all for it." And I mean, you've seen the matches leading up to this match. I mean, they've been incredible. I mean, we had the ladder match, right? I mean, it's just the matches have been crazy leading up to it. Then is there a way to block him? Anyway,
I wish I could, but again, I don't want to anger this guy. But Ben Castle says hello, former guest of the podcast. There you go.
the as far as I mean, that whole thing just made me lose my train of thought. But anyway, going back to that match, Daniel Alexander and Rocket. I mean, as I said, this was Charlie's creation. And wait till you see that title. The title is drop dead gorgeous, right? So we're excited to debut that title. But I mean, these two superstars that are going to be in that ring are going to legit tear down the house. I mean, Daniel Alexander and Rocket. I mean, look what they have done in the independent scene already. I mean, bro, like I can't tell you how that match is going to go, but all I know is I personally will be watching.
All right, yo, I can't wait to see it again. I can't wait to see the championship debut. Again, it's been an insane ride to get here. Now we finally get to it this Saturday. Can't wait to see who will be crowned the inaugural champion. But from the lightweight championship, now let's go up a rank here. Let's go to that middleweight championship, as it will be the shining star himself, Ray Kalitri, with AJ Pan defending against Encore, a guy that I'm happy to see here. A guy I've gotten to see from his start, making waves now in the independent circuit, now looking to become the next TCW middleweight champion. But again, it's not going to be an easy task. You have Ray Kalitri, who just put out, again, an amazing promo. If you guys haven't seen it, go check that out. Because without having to say a word, he said so much going into Saturday. So
Yeah,
I can't wait to see how that's gonna happen.
I agree. I mean, I actually had to watch that over multiple times. That's how awesome that actually was. Really, really put together, and the time and the time and the work that he puts into himself. I mean, it is bar none, right? I mean, it's very hard to equal out what Ray Kalitri really is, and it's amazing. I mean, there's when I tell you a fighting champion, he's a fighting champion. Encore, just coming off of AEW Dark, right? So I mean, he had an impressive showing there as well. I mean, these two both are incredible pro wrestlers. So what's going to be real technical in that ring? I mean, it's going to be a seminar watching that, right? And Ray Kalitri, man, has been nothing but a top star here. Uh, that match he had with Rick Recon, I mean, it was just it split the crowd in half. I mean, it was right, so it was incredible. So I'm
It
excited.
definitely was. That definitely was. And again, it was truly an earned victory because again, Rick Recon, everyone when you talked about that TCW middleweight championship, it was synonymous with Rick with the amazing matches he was having, the list of competitors that he was able to defeat to defend that championship. Ray Kalitri has been on him, and finally he became champion. And now I feel like Ray Kalitri will do whatever it takes to not lose that championship, creating almost a new image of it. Again, we've known the synonymous look of what that TCW middleweight championship has looked like, but he's just becoming this new champion. He wants a new face. He wants to show what it truly means to be the shining star. again, I can't wait to see what happens Saturday. You have Encore, like we said, fresh off AEW Dark, fresh off just making those waves on the independent circuit. I can't wait to see when he challenges Ray Kalichi this Saturday. But here we go. We got another comment here from Yankee TDM saying, the man Billy, hope you guys are having a great night. Thanks, Yankee. Thanks for checking the podcast out.
Thank you.
Thank you, brother. But here we go. From another championship match to one more. He was just in the chat a little while ago. We have those TCW Tag Team Championships on the line as the Demon Saints, Steve Monster Mac, and Black G's taking on South Philly's finest. And this truly, to me, it promises to be a fight here because you have a team in those TCW Tag Team Champions that just have decades and decades of experience. True tag team legends here in the Demon Saints taking on a team that, again, has been a little more known around as well on the indie circuit. South Philly's finest has made their ways around the tri-state as well. So I can't wait to see this tag team championship matchup because maybe, possibly, this could be one of the toughest challenges the Demon Saints have faced yet.
It very well could be. Listen, again, yeah, South Philly finest have really made a name for themselves. Like, double down on what you're saying. They have made a name for themselves. I've heard about them multiple times. They had a pathway to get in here at Titan Championship Wrestling, and with that pathway, they wanted that title shot. You got it. You will get that title shot. But now you're talking about Steve Mack, you're talking Black G's right now. We all know that Joker's in the background. And let me tell you something. Those three, I can't imagine what it's going to take that gold off of their waist. And, all I got to say is, as good as these tag teams are, and they are, all of them, good luck. Because you are not pulling that title off of Steve Mack's waist or Black Jesus' waist without putting it down.
Definitely so. And again, I tried to rein a little unbiased because, like I said earlier, that to me, those are my wrestling uncles right there. But I try to be a little unbiased, put over South Philly's finest. But it is gonna be quite a challenge to be able to take those titles. And again, there's a reason why the Demon Saints, when you look over at other companies as well, they're winning gold everywhere. They're currently holding those TCW tag team titles. They're also holding the Callous Wrestling tag team titles. And again, it is a trio, a tag team. However you look, these three guys are truly what defined tag team wrestling. And it's going to be quite a team to be able to take those belts, whichever ones you look at it.
Yeah, I agree. You're talking two semis going to have to run them over in order to take those titles.
Definitely so.
Listen, any other tag teams out there? You got my Facebook, Bill Fetzke, right up on Facebook. You'll hit me up with a message if you think you could take the titles off of Steve Mack and Black G's.
All right, there you go. And now let's go into this. Before we get into, again, the reason we're here, the main event of the night, let's talk about this as well. If you're an aspiring professional wrestler or someone in the business as well, TCW will be holding this Saturday. It will be the Bulldozer himself giving a seminar. It's going to be an experience you want to be there to get that training in, learn from one of the best in the business. It is all the information right there. Spots are limited, so definitely get your spot now. Register today because you're going to want to go train with the Bulldozer himself. That's an awesome experience right there, especially for anyone that truly is taking their craft seriously in this business.
It's always an honor and a pleasure, watching Matt in that ring. And I've had the honor and the pleasure multiple times of actually watching him in the ring. And it's always impressive. Always, always, always. The amount of knowledge that Matt Tremont has is just bar none, right? On multiple levels. They say, Matt Tremont's a deathmatch wrestler, but no, Matt Tremont's way more than that. You're talking technical wrestling, you're talking the big style wrestling, you're talking, there's so many different levels of wrestling that Matt Tremont is, or does, right? So, it's just an incredible person. And, we're looking forward to that seminar. And just so everybody knows, Matt Tremont is also in that Mount Olympus Rumble.
Can't wait for that. But we're about to talk about that. Before we get into the Rumble talk and we talk about all that, I do want to talk about this because this I found interesting. Not only is the Mount Olympus Rumble going to be as huge as it's going to be, there's a special guest referee. So how did this come out? We have Waylon Cage as the ref for this matchup. this match is that crazy that we need a special guest referee, Billy. Explain this
Yeah.
to us.
I mean, if you look at the amount of star quality that's in this Mount Olympus Rumble, I mean, you tell me where I don't need that enforcer style, right?
This
There's
is
been a
true.
lot
This
of
is true.
talks and speculation of people just deciding they're going to walk in my building and walk right into the Rumble. I think that they're just going to, lace up boots outside in the parking lot and come into the Rumble like there's somebody. Well, you got Waylon Cage standing there. So, good
Okay.
luck.
See, that makes sense as well because I have seen it. I've seen the official TCW graphics, which again, guys, you can see all over their social media that truly tell us who's going to be in that Rumble. And then you have a few just saying, hey, my Saturday's free. Why not join a Rumble? So that
Right.
makes sense. Having an enforcer there to make sure everyone that comes out of the Rumble stays out and no one's able to make their way in. That's not supposed to be in there. So that makes
Exactly.
sense. But now again,
Once 2 feet hit that ground, to the back.
there you go. But now let's get into it because again, no more for just walking around here. Let's get into it. This is what people want to hear. Let's talk about Mount Olympus, the 2022 Mount Olympus Rumble that will be held this Saturday. Just look at that poster right there. Look at the amount of talent. Look at that, because not only do you have the current TCW and Funhouse Wrestling heavyweight champion Dr. Sleep, Anthony Gangone, but look at the talent in there. You have former champion Johnny Moran in there. You have that big man we were talking about earlier, NWA Zone, Wrecking Ball Legursky. You have Matt Tremont. You have Rick Recon. You have PJ Savage. You have so many. You have the big man himself, the Don, TJ Marconi in there, and so much more in there. Again, this is surely going to be an insane Mount Olympus. But now, usually, again, we talk about Mount Olympus. The previous winners have gotten that shot to become champion, to fight for the championship, to earn their spot to face the champion. But this year, it is now going to be to become champion. The championship is on the line. So talk to us that Anthony Gangone now has to defend his championship in Mount Olympus with again a star-studded Rumble as well.
Yeah, I mean that is the GM SP, right? SP Anderson, the Titan GM. I mean that's his brainchild right there. I mean, he said, "Look, I'm going to take this and change this a little bit." What's your thoughts, man? Where your head is at? I'm the type of person that loves to. If somebody has an idea, man, I always want to know. I reach out. Hey, where's your head at? Because I have respect enough for everybody to go to. Hey, where's your head at? Right? I mean, I just wish that would happen for me, but But SP, man, you just come up with the idea of, hey, Anthony Gangone will defend the heavyweight champion, right? Funhouse and Titan heavyweight championship in the Mount Olympus Rumble. Go back to history, right? So the very first Mount Olympus Rumble, Anthony Gangone was second to last man out. The last Mount Olympus Rumble, Anthony Gangone was the last man out. Now this one, could he win the Rumble? Think about it, right? So I mean, SP wanted to give that opportunity. Hey, if you could take it all the way, I had no argument. SP, I think he's been on fire lately, right, with his creativity and his ideas, and I had nothing to say. I mean, listen, brother, I do appreciate it, man. Make it happen, and he made it happen. I want to give you a little bit of a breaking news here, if I can, in regards to that Rumble.
Go ahead.
So this is the first time anybody's hearing it because that hype's going to go up in a little while.
Here we go.
Actually, I'm giving you two. I'm going to give you two breaking. One, somebody's going to enter that Rumble, and it's a mystery. So who's going to enter that Rumble?
Okay.
So you must be there to find out who this is because this is going to be nuts, insane. And number two, we've never done this before, but during the pre-show, before the pre-show match, the doors open up at 6. So from 6 to 6:40, the Mount Olympus Rumble numbers will be live picked during when the doors open all the way to that match. So
there you
we're going to
go.
be doing that live picking numbers.
Well, then that's going to be insane to see. Again, guys, this is why you need to get your tickets now. You're not only going to want to again see we don't know who's going to be again, who could be that surprise, who could possibly be. Could it be someone already announced for the night? Could it be someone that's been in TCW before? Could it possibly be a debut? You're going to want to be there to find out. Get your tickets. Link in the description down below. But then again, get there early. Again, not only you're going to be there for an insane night of action, but see what fortune comes for all competitors in this matchup. And again, see a stack night. We've gone through every single match. We've gone through the Rumble. And I can't wait. Again, I know who my pick is. I might be a little biased. But again, he's one of my best friends. So how can I not pick the champion to retain that night? That's my pick. I don't usually make picks on this show, but I'm going with the heavyweight champion, Dr. Sleep. Going with a clean sweep, if you will, on Saturday.
Huge. I mean, what if Dr. Sleep, Anthony Gangone, the Titan heavyweight champion, the Funhouse champion, is number one? What if? Right? So again, who's going to be number one? Who's going to be number 20? Who's going to be number 10? Who's going to be number 5? There's so many questions, right? So I mean, I can't predict, or I mean, they're all just incredible superstars.
I don't think you should be able to pick, Billy, because again, hey,
Matt Tremont, Wrecking Ball, TJ Marconi, Ken Powers, Anthony Gangone, Rick Recon, Johnny Moran, PJ Savage, brother. Like
that Rumble is stacked. Again, this is one you guys have definitely not made it easy for the champ that night. Because again, the roster on that Rumble is stacked. This again, for the winner that night, truly, I'm gonna steal a line from our good buddy Rob from the Bob Culture podcast, is the fans win that night. No matter how you look at it, the fans win because again, they get to see a stacked Rumble and truly just an insane night. Again, we look at that poster, and then again, you never know who else could possibly join this. Like you gave us that little bit of some breaking news here. A mystery entrant will already be joining that stacked field right there. Again, I can't wait to see all of them go at it. Who will walk out, not only TCW, but Funhouse Wrestling Champion. You guys are going to want to be there to see what happens. But Billy,
there's a lot of people that in that Rumble are making their debuts as well. So it could be somebody that's making their debut. Like there's so many different ways that this can go, and it's definitely something you want to watch. I mean,
definitely.
If you watch the first two Mount Olympus Rumbles, and then there's always something that comes out of that. Well, here it is again, and that's something you definitely don't want to miss.
Hey, definitely. Again, that first winner we talked about earlier, Monster Mac was a part of that. He got that win last year. We had Johnny Moran. This year, could it be Anthony Gangone? Could it be someone that was in their chat earlier? Could it be possibly Ben Castle? He's been making TCW's life a little bit of a living hell. I can imagine he's looking to do that to every single competitor in that Rumble. Or who knows? Again, it could be someone making their debut. Abraham Khan has been someone that's been making some waves. He's been talking a lot about this Rumble. I'm looking to see. Maybe Khan could do it. Who knows? But again, we're going to have to wait and see. But, Billy, as I have you here, there's something else I want to talk to you as well about. Because, again, everyone knows it. Project Codename Wrestling is bringing Escape from New York back. I want to hear your thoughts on Team TCW, as next month, December the 10th, it will be Team TCW round 1. They're taking on Team Standalone. But look at that team you guys have representing TCW. You have Anthony Gangone. You have Monster Mac. You have Merc. You have PJ Savage. So, Billy, as the boss man, your thoughts on your team heading into Escape from New York in 1 month's time?
I'm not going to just be biased. I mean, we've got the better team, and that's right. So, however, I gotta give hats off to Standalone Wrestling. I mean, that's an incredible team that they put together as well. So, I mean, it is definitely going to be a hard-fought battle. I'm sure it's going to be a hard-fought fight, and but I've got to, of course, put my guys over. I mean,
of course. This is the one time.
Absolutely, but by no chance is it going to be like a hand slap as it goes. It's quick. I mean, Team Titan's going to have to obviously work for it, and believe me, they're going to work for it. It's going to be, it's going to be a great match. see how we advance and see how Team Soar advances. I mean, it's a SP spearheading that. SP Anderson, our GM, he's spearheading that, and he's put a lot of time and effort into it, and we're excited. We're excited to take part, and we're excited to be there.
And there you go. I can't wait again. That night, I'll be calling the action. Can't wait to call all of that. That's going to be a great night to see, again, all the teams and see how that goes on Escape from New York. But before we get into that, we're talking about Mount Olympus, but also right after Mount Olympus, not even a week later, the aftermath will be happening. Talk to us a little bit what to expect on that night. We already have a confirmed Wrecking Ball's coming back. So hopefully, if he doesn't just destroy TCW on that night, Wrecking Ball is coming back. You have Johnny Brand, Ben Castle, PJ Savage. Talk to us a little bit what to expect at the aftermath.
I mean, look at the aftermath. We got Kelsey Reagan, right? Devlin McAfee. I mean, you're talking to incredible independent women wrestlers that are going to be on that aftermath. But the aftermath is specifically, of the aftermath of that Mount Olympus. I mean, anything is possible. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of, gripes and a lot of unfinished business in that on that show that is going to probably bleed over. And the way we did that was the following week, to bleed any gripes going into our break into our anniversary show in January.
Well, then, got you. No, and definitely, I feel like you guys might need a little bit of a revision because, again, I don't see the current TCW champion on the poster as I'm looking at it. And like I said, again, just in my prediction, walking out of Saturday, still TCW champion Anthony Gangone. So that poster might need a little bit of a revision after Saturday.
So whoever's the champion ultimately gets put on that poster.
There you go. Can't wait to see it. But again, like we said, after Aftermath, then is going all the way to the anniversary. And again, 2023 truly looks like an insane year for TCW. Can't wait to see what transfolds. And again, guys, you're going to want to check out all things TCW. Go follow them on all their social media. Make sure you get your tickets for this Saturday so you guys aren't going to want to miss all the great things that TCW is putting together. Billy, before I let you go, though, I have one final question I have to ask, and I ask everyone that comes on. So for Billy and for TCW, what is the end goal?
For me to finally go home, not have to come back anymore. I'm only kidding. The end goal. I don't foresee an end goal. Yeah, I could say, all right, 5 years from now, we're still here trucking along, and no pun intended, right? So we're still here trucking along, and the one thing I do want to see is when we truly get to Titan 100, and I'm so looking forward to that. I mean, to continue to put on quality professional wrestling, to continue to tell our stories and tell them well, to continue to put on a great production as what we are currently doing. We are definitely adding more to our production as we go along. And just to continue to just keep killing it. I mean, that's what really the end game is. The number one is to keep the Titan Nation happy, keeping Goddess's Universe happy, keeping the fans happy, and have them, coming back and be invested in the stories and be invested into the professional wrestlers that we have here. Because without them, without the fans, we wouldn't be here. And that, that means the world, and it really does. And the support factor, means the world, such as Respect the Craft and David Russell and Rob Williams with Bob Culture. So many different platforms, and we're so thankful and grateful. So the end game is obviously to keep things going, whether favorable or not, right? So, not every decision is going to be a good one, and there's a lot of upcoming cool things for 2023. We have the Unleashed series, which is going to be like legitimately awesome. I mean, that's really cool. The relaunch of Goddesses, North Carolina for two times for next year. right? We're still in the works with South Carolina. I mean, there's so many things I'm looking forward to. So, end goal, I don't foresee one. I don't really want to put an end goal. I look at the future and I say, all right, well, cross your fingers, everything is bright.
All right, there you go. That's a great answer right there. Again, I like to ask it, but again, it doesn't necessarily mean there has to be a cap. There doesn't have to be a roof put on. Again, the sky's the limit, and I can't wait to see what TCW brings coming up next year and again the future. So
Well, we're looking forward to it, man. We really are. I mean, I'm just gonna throw a cheap plug out there real quick. I mean,
definitely, yeah, there you go.
I want to give Chad with the standalone wrestling with that December 3rd with that camp and the huge contest of champion show. I mean, that's going to be incredible. Looking forward to see how that turns out. I mean, it's going to be awesome. I hear that camp is really stacking up, and that's going to be really cool. So, obviously go to standalone wrestling and get your tickets and definitely check that out.
Definitely. Again, that's been something that's been the talk of everyone. Everyone that's come on, we've definitely touched on that. So that's definitely something you guys are going to want to look into. That's going to be insane. But again, Billy, thank you so much for joining us here. Can't wait to see again future of TCW and what comes next. To everyone watching, thank you so much for joining us. And again, go support TCW, go follow, go get your tickets. Links in the description down below. And as always, guys, don't forget to be wise, be genuine, be real, be better people, respect the craft. And we'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.